Hello everyone, I've been going through some boxes of bits and pieces that I used to do, and I came across these. I haven't made them for years, but when I did, I went a bit mad and made a lot, and I just boxed them up and put them away. So I got them out today just to show you. You've got the sort of the survival and the surfer style bracelets, and I experimented with all different types of cord. You've got the original paracord that the survival bracelets are made from, so that's obviously in black, and then I had a different nylon cord, again like a paracord, so that made a big chunky survival bracelet. Then I experimented with other cords and things, and this is just a white nylon, like an Austrian blind cord. It's like this, so it's just like a blind cord. So I made them with that. So I made that one with that, and then I went on to do the same knot but insert beads into it. This is the surfer style, so that's a 4-strand plait, again with paracord. And this is a silk cord, and that's a slightly different knot. I can't even, actually, to be fair, I can't remember which knot that is on there, but that was one to insert the beads into. This is what they call it, it's a kite line, like a weatherproof, and it reflects, hydroline, so it's used for kiting. And then there's this, which is a reflective guy line for tents and gazebos and shelters. So that's a guy line. So that again that's the survival bracelet. So it's it's called a Cobra Knot on that one. Then I went and I did some just with leather. So we've got a pink leather and a blue and a black. So that was with leather, and this was just from one of the hardware stores. So this was just like a garden twine in pink, but that's a nylon twine. And then this is a double cobra done in a silk cord. So I did the knot all the way down one side, flipped it over, did the knot all the way down the other side, so you've got like a double cobra on there. So what I wanted to show you, and I'm not sure if my fingers are going to let me do this anymore, but I've seen lots of ways of making the bracelets, and holding them while you put them together, and it looked a bit faffy to me. A lot of them, there were things like holding it with bulldog clips onto pieces of board, and using clipboards and things on the edge of the table that you could hook it over, and I came up with this, which is a piece of decking with a hook inset about an inch from the top, and then down the sides I've marked I'll turn it around the right way. I've marked out in inches along the edges there, so I knew how long the pieces were that I needed. I've got a mark here at the very top, which is 6.5 inches long, which is about the length that the bracelets need to be, and then you leave a like the tails on them so that they're sort of an adult size, one sort of adult size, and you can make them sort of half the size if you wanted to make them for children, but they're adjustable, so you just leave a reasonable tail to them so that they can be pulled into whichever size. Oh, this one is another silk one, that's a Cobra Knot silk one, and on this one I've actually tied a knot so it goes through the loops so that I can take it off, so that's another one. As I say, yes, this is what I came up with to make them. I've also got a mark on the back, and I'll show you why. What I'm going to do is, I'm hoping that I'm going to have to do it this way round, but I'm hoping that I can flip the video when I've edited it so it's the right way round for you to follow. But I mean, I learnt the knots from a YouTube site, a channel called Tying It Together, and they have thousands of different variations of knots and ways of putting them together. You can make charms with the cord, and there's just a lot on there. So if I can find the link to the channel, I'll put it below so that you can have a look for yourself. But I just went for the two basic knots, which was the Cobra Knot and the 4-strand plait, because they can be used for more than bracelets. The 4-strand plait, you could just keep going with it and make your own cord and things for your craft. So I'm going to have a go at trying to show you both the knots, and I'm going to use the guy line. Now I get this in the, or I did get this in the pound shop. I'm not sure if they still do it, but it was in their camping section, and you've got 4 rolls like this in a pack. And I know it comes with the sliders, but you take those off. But there's a nice length, and these are little reflective strips. So I'm going to use this and probably some sort of a contrast so that it's easier for you to see the knots. So I'll sort this out and be back in a minute. Right, I'm going to start with the survival bracelet, and I found some paracord, just a length of paracord. As I say, I'm going to use the guy line as well as a contrast. And what I've done with this board, as I say, this hook is inset about 1 inch from the top of the board. The board itself is just under 8 inches long, and then the mark on the back from the bottom is a further 3 inches. So to get my central line, and again this is where the decking board comes in really handy, because you've got the grooves in it. To get the central line, I take the cord, line it up with that line on the back, bring it up and over the hook, take it back down, and then back up to the mark and cut it, and that'll give me my central piece for the bracelet. With paracord, because it's nylon, you need to seal the end so that it doesn't fray on you. So just quickly seal off the end so that it doesn't fray out. and that is then the centerpiece of the bracelet. I then take the guy line, and you need approximately 6 feet of this. So I do a rough excuse me, I do a rough measurement. I hold it in my hand, stretch my arm out and my other arm, and then go to the base of my hand on the opposite side. So I've got 2 pieces like that, and I stretched it out, and that gives me approximately 6 feet of line to work with. And again, this is nylon, so that end is already sealed, so I just need to seal this end. And there's also, I've seen lots of ways of actually starting the bracelet off to make the knot in the top. I've seen people hold all 4 together and tie a knot and pull it, and the way that I found was easier was to line those 2 ends up. So you folded the line in half, and you have a loop on this end, and then the same with your central piece, and then put one loop over the other one so that looks like a reef knot, and then bring these 2 up through the loop, pull it, and then sort of turn it over, and that gives you just a single loop at the top. If you tie all 4 together, you've got sort of this piece and the other piece, and you'll have 2 loops at the top. But this way, that gives you just a single loop at the top to put over the hook. And now what to do, this is probably the most fiddly part, is to stretch that line out that way, that line out that way, and tighten these as close to the hook as you can, so that gives you your starting knot. So you pull them in tight so they're hooked over the hook on the board. Pull these 2 pieces straight down out of the way, and then take the right hand string and bring it over the 2 centre pieces. So you're forming like a loop over the 2 centre pieces. Then you need to bring your left hand string over that piece there, around the back and back through the first loop, and then you pull that tight into the top. So I've started on the right hand side, which gives me an over loop on the side, on the left hand side. So I know that where I've got this over loop is where I need to put the next large loop. So again, take it over the 2 strands, bring this side over this strand, around the back and through, and then pull it up, and you can keep pushing up and tightening as you go. So again, that over loop is on the right hand side, so I know that I need to put my loop on that side, bring this one over that one, around the back, pull it through and pull it. and that's now giving you the starting of the Cobra Knot. It's like tying a knot over the two central strings, really. You just have to remember that if the over loop's on the right, your next loop, side loop, is on the right. So again, over that one, round the back, back through. As I say, there are easier tutorials for doing this. I just find, and there are also some very hard ones to actually create the same knot, but you just keep going until you've got the length that you need. Now I keep going until I've got this 6.5 inch mark that I have on the board here. I hold the loop, so I'll keep going until I got to here, and then I know that that's an adult size bracelet. So you just keep going, pulling it tight. I'd say it's years since I've done this, so I used to do them really fast, but just keep working your way down. And if you wanted to make a flat braid or a cord for your crafts, you can do it in the same way, with using different cords to make it. And obviously the longer the central length and the longer this outside length is, the longer your piece of cord's going to be. But it makes a nice braid if you use a silk cord or even cotton. So you can go down really tiny with it, but it's just easier to show you like this, and it just makes the survival bracelet. So when you've completed all the way down as far as you want to go, it's then a case of finishing off. Now, for some unknown reason, I always used to finish them off differently, but I'm trying to think now. I think I just bring that one around, pull it tight, and that comes into the middle. And again with this one, bring it under, I think, that one, and then pull it up so that you've got the thinner cords in the middle. And then what you can do is you can just tie a knot in these two pieces just to finish it off. And again, as I say, you have the two strands, and then what you do is you cut off. I'll flip it over. If you cut off with a little tiny bit of excess, that one, you can then seal it. And again on the other side. And seal it. I left a bit much on there, but it melts down and seals against the other piece. So then you've got what would be bracelet length with your tying cords, or the other thing that these are used and called are lanyards. So you can actually cut this whole base piece off and seal it. So that's the survival bracelet Cobra Knot on that one. And now I'm going to do the surfer style, so I'll put that aside, and for that I'm going to use contrasting pink and white again, just so it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. And this doesn't take half as much cord. These are quite simple to make. They use quite a lot less cord. And for this, I tend to use the back of the board to the top, bring it around the hook, and then cut it off. At the top there. So you've got probably about 2 feet of cord for that one, and then I get the pink cord and I'll just measure out the same, using the white piece, measure out the same amount of the pink. Again, sealing the end. This is a nylon cord, and in the same way, find the centre of each. Bring it up, hook that one over the top, and bring the 2 pieces through, and decide which coloured cord you'd like to have as the loop. So I'll choose the pink, and making sure that the white or your outside pieces are looped in behind. Pull that over the board and pull all 4 pieces down. Now with this, it's just a 4-strand plait, so it's, the first one is one right one over 2 middle ones, left one over 1, right one over the 2 middle ones, left one over 1, right over 2 middle, left over 1, and you just keep going. And this will give a sort of a zigzag effect with the 2 different coloured cords. And again, you could use this knot for making braid, and it makes quite a nice braid. So you just keep going, right over 2, left over 1, right over 2, left over 1. And so this uses a lot less cord, but makes the same length bracelet. And just keep going down. And what I try to do is when I've got as far down as I want to go. I try and make sure that I've got two colours the same on the outside and your two pieces in the middle of the same colour. And this again, to knot this one, I take the right one over the right hand centrepiece and back through and pull, and the left hand one goes under, so the left hand centrepiece goes under the left hand cord and back through. And that should give me both the same colours in the middle as a finish. And then again you cut off any excess. And melt it in. Giving it a strong finish. And there you have just the 4-strand plait. As I say, with the altering colours, it gives a nice effect. You can do a few different ways of actually doing the plait, which will give you different effects. So you can have it a zigzag effect, but that's just basically it. I just thought I'd come and show them to you. As I say, I did them years ago, so I just thought I'd dig them out and show you how I made them. So thank you for watching. I hope it was followable. Take care. Bye bye.